fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Morning Spread right here on the Betting News Network, episode 90 of the Morning Spread. I think I misspoke yesterday, said yesterday was episode 90, had my quants in the lab. We got the numbers correct today right here. You guys are looking live at episode 90 of the Morning Spread here on the Betting News Network, brought to you by our lovely sponsors at onlinecasinogames.com. Go there. It's onlinecasinogames.com. Use promo code BNX20. Get yourself $20 in free chips right away. Nate Horner here, your host for the Morning Spread, better known online as Shaggy Betts. I got producer Sook helping me out in the shadows today, and we do not have any World Cup action today. The quarterfinals are set. We've got a day off before they begin tomorrow. So, look, we had to find something to bet on, right? All right, we got the itch. It is the dog days of summer. But we found plenty of moves on the diamond. We got special guest Justin Carlucci coming on to talk MLB and some golf as well, previewing the Scottish Open happening here this weekend. As far as scheduled today on the network, we've got just a couple of shows for you today. You're stuck with me for the next 58 minutes here on the Morning Spread, but come on back at 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern for some afternoon bet espresso with Mr. Kaufman and PJ Glasser, talking all things MLB and WNBA for tonight. That is about it for the housekeeping. We're going to play GeoSports as always, but let's get our special guest up here, Mr. Justin Carlucci. Happy Wednesday, good sir. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Happy Wednesday. You know, it comes fast. I feel like I was just on the show here, and maybe we could do a little more reverse jinxing if you're up for it, because last Wednesday we were on the – so what – chat, what do you need me to put out there in the universe? Because last Wednesday I was on the show, and boy, Sook, not to pour salt in an open.
No, get him while you're here.
No, I'm not. This isn't a targeted attack at anybody, but I can't go back in time and take back my actions. I was on here just trashing my 76ers, and I said how disappointing of an offseason it was, and they aren't doing anything, and just another day at the office for 76ers fans. Literally like 5 hours later, the Jaylen Brown, Paul George bombshell drops, which honestly was so unexpected just because of the team that Brown went to. That almost had me as shook as when Luka Doncic got dealt. Just with the well, that was just sheer unexpectedness. This was like, well, okay, Portland or some other, but Philadelphia. So that was unbelievable. So if anybody needs some reverse jinxing, apparently at least for the month of July, I have some magic juju. Maybe not to like the extent of the witch doctor from the World Cup, but apparently I got a little something going on. So let me know what you need, big dog, and I got you.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, we needed you on Monday. We needed you to say something about Belgium on Monday, and then maybe it would have helped the U.S. men's national team get over the hump there. But yeah, I mean, you said it. We were talking about it on stream. You put it out into the universe. 76ers, they're not doing anything. They're just sitting at home. And what do we get? Just a few hours later, Jaylen Brown moving over to the Philadelphia 76ers. Very, surprising, like you said, that not necessarily him leaving this Boston, but being traded to a team in their division, to the 76ers. What are you feeling as a Sixers guy? Do you like this move? Are you excited for Jaylen Brown joining the team? Are you worried about him being maybe a locker room cancer as he's kind of been portrayed? Or what are your thoughts as a Sixers guy?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts, but I just think
get him out.
Embiid will give you half of a season, and hopefully it's the right half, and hopefully he rests down the stretch when he can. That was the plan all along last year, until you're fighting for your life to make the freaking play-in game, because the roster just wasn't built to win. So hopefully it's a little bit different of a scenario. Obviously, if you take Embiid out of the equation, that kind of lessens the argument about there's only one basketball and too many high usage guys. I don't know. I feel like they'll figure it out if they want to. I kind of, obviously to a different degree, but look at the U.S. Olympic team. Anybody who thought they may not have won gold, and there were some other really good teams. Canada was awesome. They had a lot of high usage guys too, but they'll figure it out if they want to. Obviously, the Sixers are not the Olympics team, but similar concept, and a lot of guys who are used to having the ball in their hands. So if they can put their egos aside, which, apparently rumors are swirling on the net that Jaylen Brown and AJ Brown are cousins. So there's a little diva in that bloodstream, which doesn't make me feel fantastic about it, but that's no news to anybody here. I think they'll figure it out. And however it unfolded, if Jaylen Brown feels like he has a chip on his shoulder, then he's in the right city. Although the right city for him was Boston. Right. It's just bizarre. It's just been a weird couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. But in the theme of reverse jinxing, there's absolutely no way that the 76ers land LeBron James. Can't see it happening. Doesn't seem like a fit. And hopefully a week from today, I'll be able to come on the show and tell you I still got my magic.
Yeah, set the reminder. 5 hours from now, we're getting the LeBron news, headed to Philadelphia to become a 76er. You mentioned it with all the offensive tools they now had with getting Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, just a stud for them last year. Obviously with Tyrese Maxey as well, adding Anthony Simons. I mean, a lot of ball handling guards that do prefer to have the ball in their hands. So if you can get those pieces to work together and get some movement without the ball, you've got plenty of talent there. And, just seeing a parallel with the World Cup, we're seeing that with France as well, with all their attack up top. Is that going to come back to hinder them? Is someone going to get jealous? Is someone going to think they're not being utilized like they should? It's worked out for them so far. So assuming these 76ers guys can, kind of put their ego to the side and just focus on winning basketball games, they got plenty of talent to do so. So should be very exciting. And then, you said it, just keeping Joel Embiid as healthy as possible for the season. But setting up themselves for success are the 76ers. So good to see it, especially from a Philly fan yourself. All right. We got a lot to talk about, Justin. We do not have any World Cup to discuss. We are going to get into some baseball because I know you got some baseball. I found some diamond plays as well. We're going to preview the Scottish Open. But first and foremost, we got to play Sook's favorite game because he was just begging me backstage. He's like, please, can we play GeoSports? Please, I need to play it. So we're going to pull that up. We're going to see how we do on today's round. I was totally kidding, by the way. Sook hates this game. He wishes we didn't even play. But guess what, Sook? It's my show. We're playing. How about that? We'll see what we can do. Let's get this pulled up and start off with some GeoSports. In 2017, the highest scoring World Series game of the century produced 25 runs in this inland port city. 2017, that was the Astros, no? The Astros?
Inland port city.
Is Houston an inland port city?
How was that 9 years ago already?
Yeah,
Man.
I'm pretty confident this
chat. We need some help in the chat. Yeah,
I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Dodgers Astros, and I wouldn't imagine it'd be LA. But the inland port city is kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah,
isn't that like an oxymoron type deal? Inland port city.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean,
I'm pretty certain it was Dodgers Astros.
Okay,
but
where the game took place still up in the air a little bit.
SPJ saying LA in the chat.
Right. We can do LA. We can do LA. I mean, I don't know. Does that look more like an inland port city, or does Houston, which is more like here? I mean, that kind of looks more like an inland port city to me.
Gun to head, yes. I didn't expect to be dissecting the phrase inland port city.
Right. We're really diving into that.
I would say, yeah, Houston, it looks like more of one, but
SBJ is saying it was Houston. I kind of like that.
I kind of do too. Yeah.
All right, let's roll with Houston. We'll see if we're wrong. Gut takes us home. Whew. Game 5 of the 2017 World Series, a wild 13-12 Astros win over the Dodgers in 10 innings. We were on the right track there. Delivered 25 runs at Minute Maid Park, highest scoring World Series game of the century.
Wow.
There we go.
Let's
We're on the
see.
board.
Good old Dallas Keuchel pitched that one.
Keuchel. What, with 7 earned runs probably in 5 innings?
3. Let's
Okay.
see. Surprisingly, Kershaw was on the other side. Gave up 6 and 4 2/3. Yeah.
Interesting. Kershaw was worse in that game.
Boy,
Would not have expected that.
2017, that was still the Yasiel Puig era of Dodgers baseball. That is
Wow. Okay.
a blast from the past.
I was going to say, yeah, that really seems like 9 years ago now. Throwing out that guy's name. Wow. Yeah. All right, question number 2. Before becoming the NFL's #1 overall pick, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams was born and raised here.
Oh, I think he's from the East Coast.
Is he? Okay, I have no idea.
Where are we at, Bears fans? Let me bring the chat.
I was going to say, chat, we're needing some help on this one. Because he went to Oklahoma, then he went to USC, but I don't think he was tied to either of those places. LA, right? Maybe?
Maybe I'm completely wrong. I was thinking East Coast. I was getting like Maryland vibes. Yeah.
Blaine said Maryland.
Maryland, Virginia. I'm not sure. DC, maybe. Yeah.
DC area? I'd be okay with it. Guessing DC. We're right by Maryland if we're off.
I mean, it's technically all the DMV, right? Or whatever
right.
They call it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's roll
generally,
with it.
Right? Yeah.
Let's see see how close we are. It was indeed DC. Caleb Williams, born and raised in Washington, D.C., won the 2022 Heisman at USC. Bears made him the first overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, where he set several rookie passing records. Caleb Williams.
That's a good one.
From the D.C. area. That is a tough one. Good job. Good job, chat. Let's go. Perfect score so far. 3 more questions to go. Lamar Jackson became the youngest player ever to win the Heisman Trophy at this school.
Mm-hmm.
Is Louisville this guy?
So you might know Kentucky better than me on a map.
I want to say that's Louisville because I think this is Lexington over here. Yeah, that's Cincinnati up there. I think this is Louisville. We'll roll with it.
I'm rocking with your coordinates on this one.
I know it's Louisville for sure. Whether or not we have that marked on the map may be up for debate, but we'll find out. We nailed it. We got it.
Nice job.
Clinical finish, says the map. 2016, Lamar Jackson, the youngest Heisman winner ever at Louisville at 19 years, 337 days. Wow. School's first Heisman. Later won the NFL MVP award, 2 NFL MVP awards with the Ravens. That was one answer I actually knew, but have no idea where it is. Hey, Austin, that's why we're here, man. We're all learning something new. Gotta love that. All right, 2 more questions. See how we can do. In 2014, U.S. keeper Tim Howard set a World Cup record with 16 saves in a knockout match played here. God, that was against Belgium. 2014 was in Germany. They're not even labeling the countries for us now. Well, that makes it a lot tougher.
I know. Is it like skilled base? Have we like gotten past the point of the state and country boundaries?
I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of hit or miss. I really haven't noticed a pattern of when they take the countries away, if they do so. But Germany, where the 2014 World Cup was played, right underneath Denmark. I mean, that kind of looks like it could be a major city. I think that's a little too far north to be Berlin. Munich is I wish I had in the south border of Germany, because I know Munich is in the south. And if I had the parameters, I would be able to find it, because we've had that question before. Yeah. I want to say, I know SPJ, how far south? Like, that looks like it could be.
Yeah. It's a little less foresty and populated.
Right. Maybe closer to there. We'll roll with that. I don't think that's far enough south, actually. You know what? I'm going to make an executive decision and go down here.
Okay, I'm with it.
Because I remember every time I think I find Munich, it's always further south than I picture. But, God, that's getting pretty far south to still be Germany, isn't it? Because there's the Swiss Alps, further south, SPJ says. Okay, so like more of like a yonder area. We'll roll with that. We'll see if that's far enough south.
All right. It's right by that mountain range.
I was completely. Oh my gosh, 2014 was in Rio. It was in Brazil. I was completely off. I was completely off. We found Munich apparently. Not what we were looking for at all. 2014 in Brazil. You idiot, Nate. Come on. I should have known that one. That's on me. Only 5,000 miles off, folks.
Moral victory in Munich, Munich, though.
Yeah, exactly right. Moral victory. Tim Howard, World Cup record, 16 saves in the U.S. is 2-1, round of 16, lost to Belgium in Salvador, Brazil in 2014. The most in any World Cup match since records began in 1966. I was so hyper-focused on Germany, man. That one's on me. All right, well, one more question. Because of his father's basketball career, Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton was born on this European island best known for its vacations.
European island best known for vacations.
Sicily? Greece? I don't know.
Where do people say they vacation over there?
Yeah, right. Bahamas?
I would say people go to Greece more than Sicily. Well, I don't know. People I know and people you know may be different. Right. But from personal experience.
I would also guess Greece. I know this is Athens right down there. I don't know if that's the correct answer, but I mean, it can't be England.
No, that's a good. I mean, that's a good point. There's not a ton of islandage.
Right, exactly. So I kind of feel like Greece might be our best answer. Ibiza? Isn't that this guy? Isn't that Ibiza? That would be an island. That's where people vacation. Is Ibiza.
True. It's also impossible to not think of the Mike Posner song.
Yeah, right.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough.
Let's roll with Ibiza. Mallorca could be Mallorca. I don't know. Let's lock in Ibiza.
I want to say it's one of the C's, like Corsica or Crete. Oh,
wow! He nailed it. You nailed it, Sook.
Wow.
We needed your insight 2 seconds ago, brother.
Damn, that was an 11th hour. Late
yeah. Right. Kyle Hamilton, born in some city that's the capital of Crete, while his father Derek played pro basketball in Greece. Family later moved to Atlanta. Kyle became an all-pro safety for the Ravens. Sook from the death, man. We needed you. We needed you just half a second earlier, brother. Well, 721. That's not really going to get us an A, unfortunately. I'll take the blame on question 4. That was me. Wouldn't have found Salvador, Brazil anyways, but would have maybe at least been in the country. And then, Sook, we just needed you a half second earlier. But 721, we still passed.
I would have bombed question 4 too. So I mean, I was not much help there, but did find Munich though. So I feel
yes, moral victory.
That was impressive. That was good. That was good collective detective work, and assist from SPJ in the chat.
It was the ketchup crisps that got Sook the correct answer. Apparently, gotta love those ketchup crisps up in Canada. Wish they had those in America.
Are they is the hype real?
I don't know. Apparently, he's shaking his head like, yes, the hype is indeed real. So he must be onto something. Where is Alex when you need him? Sook just catching strays, man. You gotta love it. All right, folks. Well, that is some GeoSports as always. Shout out Frank Mike Smith for the incredible game. Let's switch gears. Let's talk some baseball. Mr. Justin, we do not have really any day baseball today. One game at 2:45 Central is the earliest start. Everything else later than 6:30 Eastern. But I know you're looking at this A's-Tigers game specifically in Detroit tonight, 5:40 Central, 6:40 Eastern. First pitch. What are the moves in this game? I know you got an article out at bettingnews.com. People can go peep those scribbles there. But what are you liking as the Tigers host the A's tonight?
Yeah, I like the Tigers. I like them on the money line. I like them on the run line. And like we have such a big sample size now on this season's data since we're in July, which is great. The Athletics are just Sutter Health Park merchants. I mean, they're the new Rockies.
Yep.
Their numbers away from home are so bad. They're bottom of the barrel in weighted runs created plus, in ISO on the road, and they're top 3 in both metrics at home. And we're not surprised because also, in addition to the small ballpark, they've had pretty good hitting weather, since the end of March and early April compared to the rest of the country. So they've just been anemic away from California, and that's crazy. And I'm not sure where the Nevada series factored into some of that data, but if it did, it certainly proves how bad they've been away from Sutter Health Park. So I like it. I like Detroit. Troy Melton's been great. I wasn't sold on him a couple of starts ago. I still would like for him to miss some more bats, but he doesn't give up hard contact. He doesn't give up a ton of barrels. He keeps the ball on the ground. His expected ERA is really, really good. So the advanced stuff thinks he's as good as advertised. So the other kicker here is the Athletics have caught the injury bug, and it's bad. Tyler Soderstrom's still out. Unfortunately, they lost Brent Rooker for the year. That's a big one. So just a couple of more bats missing from the heart of that order. Lawrence Butler's had a miserable season. I was really, really wrong about him long-term. I thought he was going to be awesome, and maybe it's just a down year, but not much good going on for the Athletics. Jeffrey Springs on the mound. We kind of know his story. He's been around a little bit. Left-handed pitcher, which isn't the greatest for Detroit because we know they have some of those mashing lefties in Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green. And, in his defense, he has been much better away from home as well. But he's just profiling as a below average league arm here. So I think the A's are going to continue to struggle, especially with a couple of their big boys still out. And Troy Melton's been good. So give me Detroit. It's going to be pretty hot there, which is a little bit worrisome, but still, I think the numbers speak for themselves.
And Troy Melton's been an absolute stud, like you said. .80 whip. In his last 3 starts, just 5 hits and 2 earned runs allowed across 18.1 innings. Only really gotten blown up once this year against the Twins. 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched there. But other than that, he's been rock solid for Detroit. So I like what you're saying here. And, fading the A's away from home, never a bad idea. So I'm with you here. Tigers on the money line, run line, however you want to back Detroit is the way to go tonight at Comerica Park. So like it, Justin. What else you got on the diamond? Anything else for the kids?
Yeah, I'm going to continue to fade Michael McGreevy in that Brewers at Cardinals game. His expected you on this one too?
I'm on this one. Yep, I'm right here with you.
I'm not going to steal all your thunder. I just want to throw in there that his expected ERA is like over 2 full runs higher than his actual ERA. Arguably the luckiest pitcher in baseball so far this year, according to a lot of the advanced stuff. So obviously Kyle Harrison on the other side there, he's been awesome. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm fading the Cardinals. Fading McGreevy back in the Brewers here. Took him on the run line, plus 125. As you can see down there, Brewers have now won 4 in a row overall, 3 in a row against St. Louis in this series. Against the Cardinals, over the course of the entire regular season, 7-1 overall. They've won by 2 in 4 of those games. And, even though the Cardinals are slightly better at hitting against lefties, Kyle Harrison has been on fire. Lost just 1 game since April 11th. Brewers 12-4 in games where he starts. They've covered the run line in 10 of those games as well. So not worried about getting the run support we need to cover this run line here. And again, McGreevy does pitch slightly better at home, but he's allowed 2 earned runs in 7 of his last 8 starts, including giving up 5 runs twice, one of which was to the Brewers already. 5 earned runs on 7 hits and 3 walks in just 4 innings in that game. Yes, it was on the road tonight. He's going to be pitching in Busch Stadium, but I think the Brewers are way too hot right now, so I'll take them to win this game by 2. Brewers on the run line for me at plus 125.
Yeah, I like that call a lot. A couple other things I'm looking at. I kind of like Chase Burns. I mean, I like him every 5th day. He's an absolute monster. But over 7.5 Ks at plus money, I don't hate. The Phillies have been red hot. Awesome to see them turn it around under Don Mattingly. Since the beginning of July, they have a top half of the league strikeout rate against right-handed pitchers, though. So I think Burns, anytime you can get him at 6.5 or 7.5 at plus money, more so 6.5, but those days are long gone. I think he's a look as well. By the way, Zach Wheeler absolutely dominated yesterday, and he definitely harnessed some of that pissed off energy. He had just one of the biggest all-star snubs. I don't care enough to know what the rules are. There's been some really bad fan voting, so it kind of turned me off from the whole thing. And I love baseball, but some of it has just been some bullshit. But he really turned it up a notch. I mean, 14 Ks yesterday. What a game for Zach Wheeler. Just speaking about the Phillies on the other side of that Reds matchup there. One more game or matchup I'm looking at here. As a Yankees fan, just miserable. Obviously made history, but not good history for them. 17 strikeouts yesterday, set the record for strikeouts in back-to-back games. And Shane McClanahan hasn't been the same pitcher since before, several injuries he's dealt with, and understandable. Still, you look at his frontward-facing numbers, 3.05 ERA. The advanced stuff says he should regress a little bit. He's not missing a ton of bats anymore. At least this season, he's kind of profiling as an average strikeout arm. But that Yankees lineup has been so bad. Hit the over on his Ks as well. I think it was 5.5 last night. Not sure if it moved. Vegas doesn't think there's going to be a lot of scoring there as well. I'm seeing a 7 even run total on some books right now. Garrett Cole's been pretty good on the other side of that matchup as well. But you got the hottest hitter in baseball, who's been, no stranger to reverse splits power in Junior Caminero. I'd be dumb to talk you out of taking the Rays today or anything related to Tampa Bay and Shane McClanahan as well.
I like it. I was looking at the Rays. I couldn't quite pull the trigger there, but you might have convinced me to do so, just with how bad the Yankees have been. So Tampa Bay sitting at minus 120 on that run line on that money line right now. Garrett Cole on the bump for the Yankees maybe gives you a little bit of pause there, but I would expect the Rays to put up plenty of runs, and maybe even looking at Tampa Bay's team total instead. If you don't want to back them to win the game, but think they're going to put up some runs. So could be a good look. Chase Burns, like you said, already pitched once against the Phillies, 9 strikeouts in that matchup. And, he's a guy that typically goes 5-6 innings at least, if not a little longer. So, shouldn't have to worry about him getting pulled early by any means. Already covered that number against the Phillies once this season, so at home should be real comfortable doing so. So I like it, Justin. I'm going to take you to Dodgers Stadium actually for my last MLB play of the day, as Colorado takes on Los Angeles, and we're just not going to overthink it. We're just taking the Dodgers on the run line here, minus 1.5, minus 120. Typically, I do like getting a plus sign for a team to cover the run line, but let's be honest, people. It's the Dodgers versus the Rockies, the top team in the NL West against the worst team in the NL West. They lead this season series 6-3. They actually lost last night as well, so you got the bounce back narrative working in their favor. They've won 5 of those 6 games by 2 runs at least, 30-16 at home, hitting 269 against right-handed pitching. Colorado just away from Coors, the splits really go down, 244 on the road as a team average. So again, like to get plus money to back a team to win by 2, but when it's the Dodgers at home against the Rockies coming off a loss, it seems like a no-brainer to me. So Dodgers by 2 tonight at home against the Colorado Rockies is my other MLB play today.
I like it.
That's what we got. A couple of favorites on the run line, as chalky as it comes, but that's okay. Sometimes that pays. All right, Justin, switching gears a little bit. Let's get to the golf, head to the links, where we've got the Scottish Open happening this weekend, beginning bright and early tomorrow morning. Give us the rundown for the Scottish Open. What do you got? Do you think Chris Gotterup can defend his title and go for back-to-back wins here this weekend?
I might be in the minority here, but yeah, I think he can. And I understand the hesitancy to back someone that not only won less than a week ago, but won at the same venue last year. But when you zoom out a little bit, shouldn't you be thrilled to take someone like that? So I'm betting him 40-1 with 3 places. He's 28-1 outright on Lucky Rebel. Placement bets are awesome, and not every book offers that, and that is sad. I do a lot of my golf betting on Bet365. Since I don't know what our rules and regulations are here, I will stop talking about sports books that we may not be friends with or not. So I will stop. Okay. Anyway, placement betting is awesome. Last week, Heartbreaker had Max Homa bet him 3 places at 90-1. I think he was like 60-1 just outright. Solo second, but the bet still paid about 18-1 because he finished in the top 3. So, it really helps you keep afloat when you're in a rut. And golf betting outrights is so hard. If you hit 5 in a year, that's like a heater. Realistically. So, placement, we're so close, guys. We're so close. And yes, I do like Gotterup. He's the first name I mentioned in my article this week. I don't know if there's a better course fit than the Renaissance Club here in Scotland for him, because he doesn't have to be super accurate off the tee. We know he could have spike putting weeks. We saw it last week. His approach play is awesome, and he's super familiar with the course. So I like the play a lot. Now, if he was priced like inside of 20-1, I would probably pass. Okay. And I do also really like Tommy Fleetwood this week, but he was inside of 20-1. So for me, that was just a pass. But spoiler alert, I'm probably going to go with Tommy next week at the Open Championship, which is another, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. tee off time. So good luck to all the golf sickos out there who are going to try to flip some of their sleep schedule and, go on with their work day, or maybe you just call off. I don't know. But so I just driving accuracy isn't as important here. And I think that's one of Fleetwood's big edges, and he'll need that last week. So I do like Tommy next week. That being said, I do like a couple other plays down the board here. I was trying to focus on plays that are like 30-1 or higher. I like Tyrrell Hatton. I got him at 45-1, 3 places. He's always a treat. He's probably the last guy the tour wants mic'd up because he sounds like one of us on the golf course, which is really fun. He's perfect for live events, but those days are gone. He might be the best links golfer in the field. You can make an argument for it. There's a lot of conversation whether the Scottish here at the Renaissance Club actually plays like a links course. Now, it's on the coast, but there are no actual like built-in water hazards on the course. And, you don't really get penalized for missing fairways. So I would say it's more linksy than anything we have in the States, but compared to what we'll see next week and, a bunch of other courses in Europe, it's kind of on the 50-yard line, I would say. That being said, he just plays really well in strong fields. He had a T7 at the U.S. Open, and then he had a T3 at the Masters. He hasn't played a ton the last couple weeks, but he did have a live win in June, 2 tournaments ago, and it's not like nobody was playing there. He edged John Rahm by 2 strokes. He's long enough off the tee. He's great on approach, and we know he can putt. His course history here, he had a T24 at the Scottish 2 years ago and a T6 last year. So this course, I think, really caters to bombers, and Hatton isn't the longest, but he's above average in terms of distance. Looking for guys who can pick up strokes off the tee. I think that's huge. Another guy I like here, the Norwegian Christopher Rieten, and we saw, Victor Hovland, doing the row after his win. But, this guy I think should be getting some more love. I got him at 50-1, 8 places. And you can find all this at bettingnews.com. I posted the article yesterday. Super long off the tee. Another guy, it just seems like a dynamite course fit. He does have a win this year at the Truist. He's a very good putter that typically carries with him, and putting is pretty variant. It's something I don't usually take a ton of stock in, because when you get spike putting weeks out of guys who are kind of consistent everywhere else but not great with the putter, it's when you find some wins. But it's kind of an added bonus when you like everything else about a guy's game and his putter is typically strong, and that's what we're getting here with Rieten. He was T13 here last year. He gained well over a stroke on approach against the field, and I just think this 50-1 with 8 places, meaning if you bet him with the places and he finishes in the top 8, I have a special guest here, you can still make some money back as well. So I think the 8 places at that number is extremely generous for him. And let's see, I'll give you one more I have here. Wyndham Clark. I mean, it feels a little chalky. But again, people shy away from those who have won in recent weeks. And if you look at some recent strokes gain numbers, Wyndham Clark is arguably the best golfer in the world in the last 4 to 5 weeks, which feels so strange to say. His course history here is really, really good. T16, T25, T10, T11 the last 4 years. And now he's playing the best golf of his career. So a guy who's had kind of an up and down, we've seen him flash, former major winner, but it's been a little roller coaster of a ride. Insert that comfortability of this course with its current form, and I think it's just a no-brainer to hit the button. So a smaller card for me this week. The last guy I didn't mention was Tom Kim. Really hot right now. 55-1, 8 places. So I'm rolling with those 5 picks. I initially wrote down a couple of long shot sprinkles, some really fun stuff. And for the sake of time purposes, I'll let you guys just check it out on the site because I just think it's too strong of a field this week to really – invest any more than like half of a pizza money, not even a full pizza money bet,
right. Sprinkle of a pizza, pepperoni money.
So yeah, check it out. Got the article up and get your alarm clocks ready, boys and girls, because 2 a.m. is going to come real quick.
I was, looking at some of these start times and, latest group going off at, it looks like 9:27 Eastern is the last group. So everyone else, very, very early in the mornings. So you heard it. Set your alarms if you'd like to watch golf, not only this week, but next week as well. Now you mentioned, a couple of guys maybe that are straying away from the guys that are playing well and playing hot when you mentioned Wyndham Clark there. And that feels like the wrong move to me because golf's such a sport like a soccer or a baseball where you have these guys that get hot at the right time and you want to back them while they're hot, while they're in good form, while they're playing well. And it seems like Wyndham Clark would kind of be a no-brainer with some of his recent finishes. I mean, obviously you take into account a guy's recent performances, but that doesn't necessarily steer you away from backing him the next week.
Right. I mean, look at home run betting. People are like, well, he can't homer again today. It's just like this dog shit narrative that everyone likes to, not everyone, but a lot of the public likes to throw around. Right. And look at our Junior Caminero, case in point. How many games straight was the heater? Just insane. And it's so hard to be in good form in golf too. So I think you should kind of, take it when you can and run with it. And this is a course where he does not have to be accurate off the tee. And of course, we remember the recent major where, against Scotty, where he fended off all the haters in the crowd too, but he was spraying the ball like crazy. And that was a course that you kind of needed to be accurate off the tee. Some of the stuff he was hitting out of in round 4 was insane, which is just more kudos to his ability to scramble. So I think there could be some steam for him to be kind of an overlooked open pick next week as well. But this is a course where, you don't really, you're not, unless you're too egregiously bad off the tee, you don't really have to scramble that much. His irons are great. His putting has been awesome. So I'm with you. I think there's kind of just whatever you want to call it, a bad stigma, a bad bias about baseball players hitting home run, guys in good form in golf, or, I don't know if there's another comparison to another, adjacent sport here or not, but no, you're right on with that call.
Now, and then for us novice golf bettors, you mentioned, you got Chris Goddard up 28-1, but then 40-1, 3 places, Wright 50-1, 8 places. What are you meaning by the places there?
Right. So, you're going to have to put double your wager down for placement bets. So if you put a $20 bet down, 10 goes to the outright if he wins and 10 goes to the placement bet. So of course you win the entire wager if the golfer wins. Now, like last week, for example, Max Homa was 90-1 with 3 places. He finished second, which was within the 3 places. So you don't win that full bet.
I see. Okay.
Right. So you win a fraction of the 90-1. And I think it came out to 18-1. So half of my bet size brought home 18-1, which, covered my bets for the week and a little bit more. So, of course, there's plenty of ways to kind of hedge guys. You can straight up bet guys to finish top 20 or top 10. And certainly some, depending on the odds, will grade out better and make more sense to do so. But it's really a nice feature, and it's a shame that more books don't offer it. So you will notice that if you're kind of hunting for each way betting, that the outright numbers will be different because obviously if they finish second or third or fifth, you're out of luck. And the cool thing is you can bet 3 places or 5 places or 8 places, and the odds will obviously, shift depending on what market you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think a guy has a really high floor, like Terrell Hatton, what did I actually bet him? I have my notes on the other page. He's the guy with a super high floor here, so I couldn't argue if you want to, bet him down to 10 places. Your odds will be worse because you're getting a little more wiggle room there on the hedge. Right. But it kind of helps you keep the bankroll going, and I would be a lot more down in the dumps if I had just had Max Homa straight up last weekend. He almost pulled it out, but our guy got her up. Just obviously got super hot with the putter. You can't bank on that every tournament, but we've seen that out of him more than most guys on tour. He's capable of having these just insane weeks on the greens, and I wouldn't be shocked if we saw it again this week.
Well, and you mentioned how hard it is to hit an outright golf betting. You hit 5 a year, you're on a heater. That's incredible. So going with these placement bets and, even a top 10, top 20, whatever it may be, chance to still bet on that golfer, but not having to hit the home run to walk away with some profit. So I'll definitely be looking into that place betting as well for this tournament, and then the Open next week as well. So love that, man. Always learn, folks. Always learn. Never be afraid to ask questions because we're still figuring things out here on this channel. But Justin Carlucci giving you guys great insight in this Scottish Open happening tomorrow morning, less than 24 hours away. We're approaching 12 hours till the first tee time goes off at the Scottish Open. Justin, anything else for the kids, baseball, golf, whatever it may be, you got to share with us today?
I just think a cool event this weekend that's often overlooked and doesn't really get publicity or TV time other than the network itself, the MLB draft, and it's in Philly, which is kind of cool. I'm not heading down to it, but there's 1,000 rounds in the draft, and I'm exaggerating, but there are some really intriguing teams picking in the top 5. Pittsburgh has a top 5 pick. I'm curious to see who they add after the additions they made this year, and they're super competitive right now. There's a kid from UC Santa Barbara, Jackson Flora, who is filthy, and I couldn't imagine him and Paul Skeens in about a year and a half together. So kind of curious to see how the first round of this MLB draft, plays out. There's been some really good college baseball players. And I know our guy PJ's been on some shows and chopping it up, and I'm sure he'll be tuned in as well to this. So going to be keeping my eyes on that as well over the weekend and kind of see where the studs are landed.
Love that, man. And then I guess we had a question from the chat here. Do you know anything about tennis? Are you a tennis guy at all?
I not to bet. I like watching
fair.
tennis. I like watching the majors. I consistently root for TFO, and he always loses, and I don't know why, but that's my guy to back. So no, I'm not well equipped to give you any tennis betting advice.
Oh, that's okay. Neither am I. But Drip letting us know that Jannik Sinner and Novak Djokovic apparently playing each other on Friday in the Wimbledon. That should be appointment television for everybody. Because, yes, those are 2 big names in the sport right now. So those 2 going head-to-head should be cinema for anyone involved looking to bet on or just watch some tennis. So love it, man. Well, Justin, I think that is all we've got for you today. Appreciate you coming on as always. Hopefully we'll be hearing some LeBron to Philly news in the next couple of hours, and we'll see you next week, man.
All right. Thanks for having me. Cheers, guys.
Take it easy, Justin. Appreciate you coming on the Morning Spread. Mr. Justin Carlucci at the J Carlucci on Twitter. Go peep his scribbles at bettingnews.com. All that good stuff. Just incredible insight. Love having Justin on these Wednesdays. Gets me hyped up for golf. And I'm not a golf betting guy. But I'm going to learn from the greats. I'm going to tail them because they know what they're doing. And maybe we'll make some extra coin along the way. Eddie did, actually. Our guy Eddie did write about the Wimbledon at bettingnews.com. So you can go peep his scribbles there. I'm sure he's got insight on that Djokovic and Sinner matchup happening this Friday. All right, folks. Well, we've got about 16-ish minutes left on this channel. What do we need to talk about? Well, we previewed a couple of the round of 16 matchups in the World Cup yesterday. Talked a little bit about my thoughts in France and Morocco, as well as Spain and Belgium. Now we have the other quarterfinal matches set as well, with Norway taking on England and Argentina taking on Switzerland on Saturday. Let's talk about those games that happened yesterday, as we saw an incredible comeback from the Argentinians against Egypt, who were down 1-0 15 minutes into the match, who thought they were down 2-0 50-ish minutes in the match. Thankfully for the Argentinians, that goal got called back on a controversial foul that happened 100 yards from where the actual goal was scored. Nevertheless, VAR took over, disallowed that goal. Didn't matter for Egypt, who found another one in the 67th minute to extend their lead to 2-0. It looked like Argentina was down and out. And then they turned it on. They pressed, they were aggressive, and they got one goal in the 79th minute. A header from Mr. Christian Romero gave them some life, gave them some confidence, and they certainly didn't stop after that. Lionel Messi, who else but Messi, in the 83rd minute, found the equalizing goal not 4 minutes after they got their first one to tie the ball game up at 2-2, and it looked like we were headed to extra time, but that was not enough for Argentina. Coming back, finding the winner in stoppage time, Enzo Fernandez off his head into the corner of the net to secure a 3-2 victory over Egypt in the round of 16, moving Argentina on to the quarterfinals. But none of this doesn't happen without some controversy, right? We saw Egypt have a goal disallowed because of a foul in the buildup 100 yards from the goal. You could have argued that the same thing happened with Argentina's winning goal. There was a foul that didn't get called. I don't necessarily disagree with the no call on that. Uh-oh, are we back? I think we're back. Good to go. The problem is that you had essentially the same play with Egypt, and they called the foul, they disallowed the goal. You could have easily made that argument on Argentinians' buildup. They fouled Mo Salah in the box, and I think that's probably why they ended up not calling it. Number one, because FIFA maybe colluded a little bit to get Argentina into the quarterfinals. Number two, if you do make that foul call, okay, well, it's a foul in the box. Now you have to award in Egypt a potential game-winning penalty kick, and FIFA probably just not wanting to do that in that situation. Regardless, they don't call the foul. Argentina comes down on the counterattack, finds the winner in stoppage time, moving on with a 3-2 victory over Egypt. I mean, again, congrats to Argentina for that comeback. Was FIFA maybe pulling the strings a little bit? Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, Argentina moving on to face Switzerland in the round of 8, the quarterfinals, as Switzerland successfully defeated Colombia in penalty kicks to move on. And look, based on that game, I should have just bet the under. I got too involved with Colombia, and the under came back to bite me in the ass. Lost 2.5 units there. But Switzerland came into this match with a game plan. Their game plan was, we are not going to let Colombia score. We are going to take this 0-0 to 90 minutes. We're going to take this 0-0 through extra time. And then when it gets to a penalty kick shootout, maybe we win. That is exactly what happened. Colombia dominated the stat sheet, won the expected goals battle 1.09 to 0.39 to the Swiss. Colombia had more shots on target. Switzerland, though, possessed a little bit more of the ball. And again, that was their game plan. We are going to possess. We are not going to give Colombia as many opportunities as they'll need to find the back of the net. And again, clearly it worked out for them. Scoreless through 90, scoreless through 120. And then Colombia, guess what? A center back missing a PK. Tale as old as time. Center backs, please stop taking penalty kicks. Please. Coaches, figure it out. You have at least 6 other field players that are probably better at taking a penalty kick. Center backs have not worked out this World Cup. Davison Sanchez off the crossbar. No good. And Switzerland moves on. That's all 4 of their penalty kicks, winning 4-3, moving on to face Argentina in the quarterfinals. Oh, LT will be in KC for the first time in a decade for that game Saturday. Enjoy, good sir. Go to the Peanut and get some wings. If you need any other recommendations, hit my line, please and thank you. Always happy to help everybody explore the greatness of Kansas City. Very overlooked city here, folks. But the peanut for wings, any of the barbecue places, preferably Joe's or Q39, but you really can't go wrong with any barbecue here in KC. LT, enjoy yourself. That's going to be a phenomenal matchup. I would expect Switzerland comes into that match with the exact same game plan as they had against Colombia. I think Switzerland is going to be very, very defensive. I think they're going to be cautious. I do not see them being aggressive at all. So looking at lines for that matchup specifically, it's probably not going to be a good number, but I would look for a Swiss team total under because, again, I don't see the Swiss putting a ball in the back of the net because I believe they're going to spend most of this time defending. Now, Switzerland team total under half a goal is plus 105 right now that I'm looking at Lucky Rebel. Obviously, do your line shopping. Maybe we will be able to find a plus 110, plus 115 for that number. But I would imagine Swiss come into this game looking for a 0-0 draw through 90 minutes, forcing extra time, hopefully getting to the PK shootout. Is Argentina going to let that happen? Maybe, maybe not. But we saw an offense struggle against this Swiss defense. We know how good this Swiss defense can be. Now pitching 2 straight shutouts in the knockout round after conceding 1 goal in all 3 of their group stage matches. I still have a lot of faith in the Swiss defense. Whether or not Manzambi is back on the pitch or not for them certainly would help or hinder their offensive effort, but they're going to be too focused on defense throughout the 90 minutes of this match anyway. So I'm leaning towards Swiss team total under a half. Maybe just the under 2.5 for the full game, which can be found at about minus 150. That's a little too much juice for me, even a guy that has no problem paying the juice man. But minus 150 for the under 2.5, not as appealing as that Swiss team total under. So likely going to be my bet there is Switzerland team total under a half against Argentina. Curious to know how many viewers the Argentina game lost after they went down 2-0. In fact, I turned the game off myself when it was 2-0. Drip, that probably a lot, to be honest with you. Because, yes, I kind of thought the same thing. Maybe not right after Egypt scored that goal in the 67th minute, but when it got to the 75th, I was ready to turn it off as well. If I had something better to do, maybe I would have. But thankfully, watched the end of that game, saw Argentina's great 3-goal comeback. Glad to see the miracle. Argentina plus 110. You love that KP. Great hit there. I hope you tapped into Messi to score as well, because I know you were dropping him at even money yesterday to find the back of the net at halftime of that match. And, of course, he did. No one else but Messi. Of the remaining teams, which would you bet given the odds to win it all? Great question, Mr. SBJ. Let's look at the odds right now and see if anything is tempting. Right now, to win the World Cup, if I can find them on Lucky Rebel, making it a little tough, we'll just go to a different book. Right now, teams to win the World Cup. Well, it's a little complicated of a question because I still have futures on France, Spain, and England. I have a future on France and Spain, both at 5-1, and then we have England as well at plus 750. Looking at the current odds right now, France is the betting favorite at plus 180. You have Spain at plus 360, Argentina at plus 390, and England at plus 470. Those are your top 4 right there. After that, Norway at 14-1, Morocco at 27-1, Belgium and Switzerland both priced at 33-1. Because of the futures I currently have, I'm not really looking to take any more. I've got France at 5-1, better than currently priced. I've got Spain at 5-1, better than currently priced. England at 750, again, better than currently priced. So I can tout my CLV, right? We got the CLV winners. As far as placing a future right now, I really don't like France or Spain for their numbers. Unfortunately, you're not going to get a better number. If you wait until the semifinals, this field of 8 is going to be condensed down to a field of 4. that plus 360 number for Spain is definitely going to disappear if they get by Belgium. I see a lot of chalk the rest of the way. I think France gets by Morocco. I think Spain gets by Belgium. I think Argentina gets by Switzerland. As far as England, Norway, I think that one's more of a toss-up in this quarterfinal round. But I would slightly lean with England just because, again, on paper, this team much more talented than Norway. Norway, a lot of their success has been because of Erling Haaland. And yes, that guy has proven that he can single-handedly lead a team to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, if not further. And so I get being scared of Norway and Haaland. But if you look at those teams as a whole, England, clearly the more talented team. They have defenders that are used to playing Haaland year-round, right? England with guys like Mark Gaal, John Stones. I mean, they have guys that play in the EPL used to defending Haaland. I think they'll have some success in doing so. SPJ's got an England 8-1, but wanted to sprinkle something else now. Was thinking Norway for the vibes. Norway's goalkeeper, he's been phenomenal. England, hasn't really been impressive offensively. As far as SPJ, if you're looking to back Norway with an England ticket, I would honestly wait until the semifinals. You're still going to get a decent price on Norway. You're not going to get that 14-1 that's currently listed, but you'll probably still find them into 7-8-1 range, which I think is playable for a team in the semifinals. It's going to be tough getting by Argentina. And again, we've reached the point in the World Cup where we have a lot of chalk, right? We are down to our final 8 teams. Those 8 teams, 6 of them are in the top 8 of the world right now. You have the top 4 teams in the world, France, Argentina, Spain, and England. You've got Morocco, 6th in the world. You've got Belgium, 8th in the world. The 2 outliers, Switzerland and Norway, 14th and 19th in the world. So we've got all top 20 teams. We've got 6 top 8 teams in the world. This is kind of what we expected. It's very hard for these teams to find a way to upset them now because the competition is that much stiffer and that much better. So again, as far as the quarterfinals go, Norway is kind of the most confident underdog I have faith in. I will be rooting for most of the underdogs. Kind of goes against some of my futures, but love an underdog story here. I mean, France and Morocco, we've got a rematch of the 2022 semifinals. Spain and Belgium, 2 teams that are very hungry to kind of get over the hump of the World Cup. Spain lost in the round of 16 back in 2022. Belgium didn't even make it out of the group stage. England, we know how good they are. They've been so close in the Euros recently, still just can't get over the hump. Maybe this is the year to do so because they are on the easier side of the bracket. Norway, kind of the new kids on the block. They're kind of like the San Antonio Spurs, right? New kids on the block, having a lot of success early on. Can they take it all the way across the finish line? Probably not, if we're being honest. And then Argentina and Switzerland. Argentina's clearly shown that a two-goal lead is not enough to beat Argentina, having come back down 2 goals against Egypt. Argentina looking like one of the best teams in the tournament right now. Again, on that quote-unquote easier side of the bracket, makes it that much easier for Lionel Messi. But again, I talked about the Swiss defense. They're going to make it tough. Picking the World Cup matchup might be better plays. Honestly, yeah, picking the final, which we can do. France is minus 110 right now to reach the final. Argentina at plus 138. I really don't hate that number for Argentina. Plus 138 just to reach the final. They should get by the Swiss. They should get by either England or Norway. So plus 138 for Argentina to reach the final might be my favorite future looking at the board right now, factoring in everything else I've got. Right, because I do have France, Spain, and England. I've got Argentina surrounded. Unfortunately, going to lose either France or Spain in the semifinals, if not before. Argentina would be the one team I'd be looking to back in some way, shape, or form. I would probably rather just take that plus money to reach the final rather than the plus 390 to win the whole thing. That's just me. That's just kind of how I see the board right now. And again, factoring in the futures that I currently have. We've got a unit on... Do we have full units? We have full units on all three of those futures. Yep, full units on Spain, France, and England. Spain and France at 5-1. England at plus 750. KP throwing out Argentina versus France at plus 320 to reach the final. Shop around, absolutely. Because, yes, Sooksy and plus 350. Some places always do your line shopping, people. Whether it's a straight bet, whether it's a lotto parlay, always do your line shopping. Get the most bang for your buck. Don't give the sports books an inch. Don't do it. England versus France would be hilarious. And unfortunately, it's probably very likely on U.S. soil indeed. Would be awesome. So many history jokes right up my alley, let me tell you. All right, folks. Well, that is all the time I've got for you today. Appreciate you tuning in to the Morning Spread. As always, we'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Tune back in to Espresso here in 4 hours right here on the channel. Adam Kaufman and PJ Glasser giving you all the moves on the MLB and the WNBA tonight. But for myself, I've got the Brewers on the run line plus 125, and then the Dodgers on the run line as well at minus 120. Fading the Cardinals, fading the Rockies. Doesn't get much easier than that. But that's all I got, folks. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and we'll be back for some World Cup action with Mr. BTP tomorrow morning on the Morning Spread. Appreciate you guys as always. See you in, I'll see you tomorrow. The network will see you guys in 4 hours for Afternoon Espresso. Until then, enjoy your Wednesday, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep. Now I know we all be loving this shit right here. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about